Come on, Colonel. Remember how they just appeared out of nowhere without being tracked until they were practically entering orbit? Kazin laughed nervously. Big surprise. We're dealing with a technology that can beat the light speed limit and send a major expedition, not just some half-assed little robot probe, across interstellar distances. Unless they want us to detect them, we won't detect them. Funny the UFO cultists in the last century, with all their alleged photos and radar sightings, didn't think of that, Rourke mused. But why do you assume they came here faster than light? Granted, interstellar travel slower than that would take a long time, but it doesn't violate any physical laws, which faster-than-light travel does. Oh, I'm not saying they can actually break through the light-speed barrier. You're right, that's a mathematical absurdity. But they must be able to get around it in some way. Kazin pointed out the viewport. Those are too small to be STL interstellar ships. Small? You call those things small? Colonel, anything designed to keep a crew alive that long would have to be humongous. I don't care what it's using for propulsion. And that's another thing, Kazin went on, words practically tripping over themselves. What does make those suckers move? They didn't perform any magic feats while matching orbits with us. They've obviously got to play by the rules of inertia. But they've got nothing that could possibly be exhaust nozzles or anything like that. They have something that isn't a reaction drive, something Newton didn't allow for, something we can't even theorize. An uncontrollable shiver ran through the young scientist, and he hugged himself to contain the trembling. Dear God, the things we'll be able to learn from them. Rourke felt a wave of sadness wash over him. He knew the type. Kazin was considered politically harmless, or else he wouldn't have been sent up here. Indeed, he was a member of the Earth First Party, under constant suspicion, and as blissfully unaware of that suspicion as he was of the philosophical contradictions between his work and the party's anti-science doctrines. It wouldn't last forever, of course. Sooner or later, he'd be told he couldn't publish something because his findings were ideologically unacceptable. Like the innocent he was, he would voice his indignation openly, and there'd be yet another mysterious disappearance officially blamed on reactionary elements and used as an excuse for still further encroachments on the civil liberties Americans would once have missed. Presently, Kazin went below to his tiny cubicle. It was no accident he was staying at OCCS. It was the only manned installation in orbit. The orbital command's weaponry, and most especially the fusion-pumped X-ray lasers that waited to die that they might yield up ultra-high-energy pulses at the moment of death, were unmanned. All the rest of the command's personnel were dirtside. Only Rourke and a few others were actually in orbit to oversee America's remote-controlled defenders. Defenders against what? He wondered in prudent silence. The continent-sized slum that is Russia? Or whatever generalissimo is currently top snake in the snake pit that used to be China? Nobody else was in space at all. Rourke's eyes strayed to the bone-white crescent of Luna. Men had set foot there more than 50 years ago. The science fiction writers of his grandparents' generation had imagined a lot of things in connection with the first moon landing, but not that humans would attain that ancient dream and then simply drop the ball. Such idiocy had been beyond even their powers of imagination. We turned our backs on the universe. Rourke's gaze swung back to the alien ships. But the universe didn't take the hint. Colonel? The comm technician's voice, charged with an odd mixture of diffidence and tension, broke into his thoughts. It's Cheyenne Mountain, sir. Top security. Of course, Rourke sighed. So soon? I'd hoped to have a little longer. He turned to the comm console, where General Harris's face looked out of the screen, as haggard as Rourke felt. The image, like the sound, was carried on waves that were scrambled into meaninglessness and reconstituted only at this console with no appreciable delay. The Lokaron wouldn't be able to intercept anything useful. Colonel, Harris said heavily, the Lokaron demands have been reviewed at the highest level. The decision has been made to implement Case Gamma, effective immediately. Rourke heard the muttering around him in the cramped spaces. Everyone present knew what that meant. He ignored it. General, you realize, of course, those are my orders, Colonel. And yours, Harris's voice cracked. In a detached sort of way, Rourke wondered at his own despair. This was, after all, merely what he'd expected. General, we have a civilian here, Dr. Kazin.